I just had another memory of what God showed me many, many years ago. And isn't it good to love God? Oh, I have loved God my whole life. And even when I didn't know Him, I didn't know the Word, I didn't know the Bible, I loved God. I can remember when I was newly married, and well, not newly, but several years I had been married. And when we would go out with other couples, like to the hockey game, they would be watching and all involved in the hockey game, but I'd sit in the bleachers and love God. That's what I would do. I would just sit there the whole 2 hours or however many hours that hockey game was, and I would just love God. So it's wonderful to have the love of God shed abroad in our hearts. But this was what I wanted to share, what He had reminded me about the love of God. Do you remember when the Ark of the Covenant got stolen by the Philistines and they had to send it back? And they had kind of put out a little fleece, they had said, let's put it on a cart and we're going to put the calves of the Milch Kine. We're going to put the calves on there. No, it was the Milch Kine they put on there, not the calves, but they had just had calves and they were nursing their calves. So it would be they would be going against nature. If this really was of God, the falling of their Dagon God and everything and the boils, everything that had happened to them, then the Ark of the Covenant, because they put it on that cart, those Milch Kine, they'll go back to their calves. They won't take this cart. They won't take it, back to Israel. But sure enough, those Milch Kine, they took that Ark of the Covenant back to Israel. But this was the interesting part. The Bible says that they were winnowing and lowing the whole way, crying. Oh, 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 oh. They wanted to be back. They were going against their very nature. They wanted to go back to those babies that they had had and nurse those babies, but instead they had to do God's will. They had to take that ark back. And I remember when God showed me that, because that was what my walk with God was like. Oh, oh, oh. You literally are going against the nature, your very nature. You are walking in the opposite direction of your nature because of God's will, because of His love that's shed abroad in your heart. That's the only thing that enables you to do it. So isn't God amazing? God is amazing. God bless you all.